use our Amazon link down below. When you do, it helps us out and it doesn't cost you a penny more. And after using the link, save it to your bookmarks so you can have easy access to it in the future. Thank you. Hey there, thank you for joining me today. Even while I had chores to do, you stuck with me and I appreciate that a lot. The ground was, or the lawn was getting kind of woolly, and we've had a lot of rain and warmer weather, and that means grass grows while you watch it. It's amazing stuff. And we had a break in the weather, so I figured I'll get some mowing in. There are pluses and minuses. This piece of property that I have right now that I'm living on has quite a bit larger yard than where we were previously 3 years ago. And with that is a blessing because we have far more room for chickens and animals and that kind of thing. The other side of that is it takes longer to mow the lawn. And you got to use a sit-down mower because there's so much of it if you don't want to burn up in the sun. So one of the things I noticed while I was weed whacking, and did you see the dog? Yeah, that dog, I kind of like antagonizing the dog a little bit. When he starts barking at me, I kind of go at him with the lawnmower between the fence. It drives him crazy. Yeah. But I noticed that it's getting kind of bogged down. When I squeeze the trigger, that's the throttle. It'll, I don't know, it's maybe starving for fuel or too much fuel or something. It idles just fine, and it starts right up, no problem. But it's when I hit the throttle, it'll bog down. And I know that on a weed whacker like this one, this is a Craftsman 25cc gas trimmer. It says right on it, I'm looking right down here at it, with a 40-to-1 fuel mixer, 2-stroke motor. And I have, well, here, I just use, I'm not endorsed by these guys or endorsing them or sponsored by them, but just use a 40-to-1 mixture. I know some guys say, don't bother with that, it's kind of expensive, and it is. It's more expensive than if you just were to get some gasoline and an additive to make it a 2-stroke oil gas mixture. So I can make a 40-to-1 if I just bought the little thing and added it to a couple of gallons of gasoline. Be a whole lot cheaper. But when I bought this thing, the guy at the store he sold to me some of that 40-to-1 mixture little can stuff, and he said, no problem, just stick this in your unleaded gas and mix it up and you'll be fine. Well, come to find out, he sold me the wrong stuff. Yeah, I will never blindly trust the guy over the counter who's just selling the stuff. When he says, here, use this, this will work really good. He upsold me, and I knew that 2-cycle fuel was necessary, but I trusted him that particular additive was the right one. I even looked at the thing and it said for 2-cycle motors. Come to find out, it was not the additive for the fuel, but it was a lubricant that you use when you're winterizing. And so I was actually adding fuel to a solvent and putting it in my weed whacker, and it never ran well. Never did. Until I bought some of this kind of ready mixed fuel. The minute I put it in, I cleared out the fuel tank and cleared out the carburetor, cleaned all that out, just got rid of all that stuff, put in some real 40-to-1 2-cycle motor fuel, and in just a matter of a couple of pulls, I mean, it ran like it never ran before. And I probably had the thing a good, a year, because I had mixed quite a bit of fuel. It was just the wrong fuel. Okay, lesson learned. Double check and triple check. As President Ronald Reagan mentioned one time, it's a Russian statement, trust but verify. So I'm going to trust and verify everything again. Anyways, and you should trust and verify what I have to say too. So don't take my word for it. Verify. Okay, so today I'm going to attempt to adjust the fuel and air mixture screws on here. They're kind of a specialized screw that I don't have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Dremel tool, or it's my Ryobi rotary tool, and I'm going to cut a groove in the screws so I can get a screwdriver in there, because I don't have the special tool for it. And I could really screw this up, or it can go really well. But I'm going to take you along with me, and then we're going to tune it up, just like I promised in the title. So let's get to this. Yeah, and just as I was recording that, I heard a big bolt of lightning, thunderclap, and this thing is coming in. I don't think I'm going to stand out here. Big storm coming, yeah, more thunderstorms. That's kind of cool right there, though. That is swirly clouds, which is kind of scary. We don't like swirly clouds out here. That could mean tornadoes, but I don't think we're going to have a tornado day. Look at that one. Wow, beautiful. All right, so if you hear some thunder, ooh, it's dark over there. Okay, we're going to wait. It's starting to hail, and with a metal roof, you're not going to hear a thing I'm saying. Yeah, that's a lot of hail. It's not too heavy. I just don't want it to damage my truck. That's one of the major insurance claims out here, is hail damage. I don't want it to damage my roof either. Although it's only, I don't know, peanut-sized hail. It's when it gets to be golf ball and softball size. That's when I'm going to worry. Crazy, right? Yeah, so the storm is past. It's over there. We have to get out and help build an ark for the chicken. And all right, let's get back to work. I think the next project is going to be building an awning for this doorway up here. I'm tired of having all that water down there seeping in. It's going to be a problem. All right, next time. Okay, one problem at a time. I'm going to take this tool. I'm going to cut a groove in there. This could go sideways, but you know what? I do this for you. Oh, I guess I better plug it in. Yeah, power went out. Just everything went sideways. Hail was coming down. Lightning, thunder, all that good stuff. And then about 4 inches of rain, all in about 20 minutes. Here we go. It's going to get loud. Wow. All right. I got grooves. I should be able to stick a screwdriver in there. And look at that. Yeah, this one not so good. I can turn it. All right. Let me go at this one a little bit more. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Who needs a stupid custom tool for your carburetor? Just call on me. I'll file grooves in yours. All right, let's move on. Okay, it's very important. I'm going to open up this door and get some ventilation. I'm not going to go outside. It is so wet. I got no place I could. The concrete's all wet and all that. So I'm going to open this up a little bit, and I'm going to start the motor. I don't want carbon monoxide to build up in here and have my son come out, shooting kid, come out and find me passed out on the floor. You know what I mean? So make sure you have good ventilation if you got to do something indoors, or just take it outside and do it. But I am going to start this baby up. It's going to get loud, and then I'm going to tune it up. Okay? All right. It's always good to put hearing protection on. Protect your hearing. These Pro for Shows, I've had these for a few years. They sent me a couple of pair, and I did a review. I'll put a link down below to the review. I still use them to this day. They are the quietest that I've ever had. So I highly recommend them if you need to get the quiet when you're doing something noisy. Check this out. I just kind of noticed this. See if I can turn the camera and you could... What does it say right there? Incredible. Unbelievable starting ease. Okay, we're going to put that to a test right now. Alrighty. Got them on. let's get this thing started. Got to do that about 10 times. Prime the carburetor, you know. I got fuel still in there. Should work fine. All right. I couldn't handle it. It just wasn't enough ventilation, so to be on the safe side, I came outside. Now on the, there are 2 screws. This one's marked L by the little marking over here. I'll put a close-up so you can see that. This one's H. There's no marking on it. It's just low and high. And if it's no throttle and it's just idling, it should be very smooth, which it is right now. So it's working well that way. And that would be the low setting. And if you wanted to take it to 0, you could always turn it all the way closed and then back it out according to manufacturer's instructions, 1.5 turns. That's kind of its starting point. But I'm not having any trouble with it while it's idling. I'm having trouble when I hit the throttle, which is going to be the H, which is this one up here. So I'm going to start this baby up, let it warm up, and then I'm going to make the adjustment. I'm going to let you hear what I hear as best I can, so that you can determine if you're having a similar problem. This may be what you need to do. Here we go. Get this baby started. Okay, because I guess the motor was pretty loud. I don't know if you could tell or not. But let me put this back in, and I will show you what I just did under quiet conditions to hopefully help you understand. Okay, certainly the chickens are quieter now. Anyways, the very first thing you saw me do was adjust the idle adjustment screw here, which all it does is it regulates how much throttle is in when you don't squeeze down on the throttle. So it can be, and I had to adjust it. I had to slow it down a little bit because the string was spinning, the hub was spinning down by the string there, and it shouldn't be doing that when it's in rest mode. The clutch should not be engaged, and the clutch gets engaged as the RPMs rev up. So I backed this off a little bit, so instead of being up here, it's now down here a little bit further. That must have gotten knocked. It's only on a spring, it's not locked, so I must have hit that or something because it was throttled up. The next thing you saw me do was I went to the H setting, because every time I would hit the throttle, you heard it bog down and then start back up again. And my experience while I was cutting things was it would bog down, it would start up again, but as soon as it was met with some resistance, that is the lawn, it started slowing down. It was really sluggish. I could almost stop, and in a couple of cases while I was weed whacking, it did actually stop the clutch from turning and rotoring. The motor kept going, but it was so bogged down it wasn't working properly. So what you saw me do was turn this up, that was clockwise first, and then I went counterclockwise about a quarter of a turn. And as soon as I did that, when I hit the throttle, it immediately responded as opposed to bogging down. So then I went the other way just to make sure, and sure enough, it bogged way down. and then so I turned it back to the original position, and then a quarter turn open again. So this had closed down a little bit, and this is now the new position for this guy, so that when I squeeze the throttle, it won't bog down. It'll just rev up very, very quickly and stay that way, hopefully. Then the L setting, I messed with it. That was the next thing I did. I messed with it just to see if I could get the idle to slow down or speed up. And sure enough, the idle did slow down when I turned it clockwise about a quarter of a turn. I didn't like it so much because it was almost going to die on me. So I just immediately brought it back a quarter turn counterclockwise back to almost its original position. And it seemed to idle very, very nice. Hit the throttle a few times, and there you go. It's working really good. So if you have a two-stroke motor like this and you're having some difficulty, most likely, if you've got the right fuel and your air cleaner is clean, and that was another thing. You know, I opened this baby up and checked my air filter, and it's nice and clean. There's no problems in there. It could be your mixture is kind of messed up. And I guess it can happen over time. You know, things do wear, and the needles do wear, and you're going to have to make some adjustments as you go. If you have any other questions, or if you have some comments or experience with this, leave those comments, questions down below. Let's help each other out. If you've got a two-stroke motor, and it doesn't matter if it's a Craftsman or some other, you know, Troy-Bilt or whoever else, all of these motors operate very, very similarly, and these carburetors are all built very, very similarly. There's a low and there's a high, and then there's an idle. And if you haven't messed with your idle and your idle's sitting good, it's going to be your air to fuel mixture that you're going to want to mess with. And in my case, I just needed to open up the high just a little bit, and the sluggishness went away. All right. If you have further questions, you know, DM me. That's fine. You can always go to my channel and figure out how to get email to me and ask me a question, or just do it down in the comment, and that way the whole community can answer your question. All right, I do appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Good luck. Have fun weed whacking. Don't hurt yourself. Don't asphyxiate yourself. And don't forget, hearing protection. Get those. I'll have a link to Pro for Shows. These things are really good, and I can't say enough for them. They didn't pay me to say this, but I do want to let you know that these are quiet. Probably the quietest you'll ever have. All right? God bless you. God bless America. May America bless God. Yeah, you know, it's crazy. Just about 30 minutes ago, I was about ready to build an ark, and now it's sunny.